Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, my name is Scott or Zephr, and in today's video I am showcasing a personal favourite of mine, and I think a personal favourite of a lot of people's. So in today's video we're using Slither Wing in Regulation D with this team, and well, without further ado, let's get into the team breakdown. Alright, so first up on the breakdown is none other than the star of this team itself, Slither Wing. So I am a lover of both of the Volcarona forms from the past and the future. I think I am off super good. I made a video on that with Goldengo. Super good Pokemon. Carried it to top 100 in the world. Slither Wing is a bit more niche. It's not as good and it doesn't see as much play, but I still love it. I love the design. I think it does have some matchups it does really, really well in, and I wanted to use it, so I made a team around it. First off on the team is Flame Charge with Terra Fire Slither Wing. There's actually a calc here, so if you get Photosynthesis from the sun with Torkoal, for instance, or your Thundurus, and you get the Terra Fire off, and then you Flame Charge into a 68 HP, 220 defense Flutter Mane, you have a 75% chance to OHKO, which is just ridiculous. So Slither Wing can actually deal with Flutter Mane. Leech Life actually lines up really well into all the dark Pokemon running around in the format. Chien Pao can be like a free HP leech for Slither Wing in front of it. Close Combat is another really good stab move that Slither Wing has, which does an insane amount of damage, especially with Photosynthesis boost. And then Protect, because Protect. And then, really weird item choice, we're using the Muscle Band. So me and Gentle were talking about Slither Wing, and Gentle went around playing around with it, different items, etc. He came to the Muscle Band. So the Muscle Band isn't a very popular item. It boosts physical attacks by 1.1, which doesn't seem like a lot, but Slither Wing misses out on OHKOs on most Pokemon just with that tiny bit of damage. The Muscle Band actually allows Slither Wing to pick up those KOs into, say, Chien Pao, Normal Terra, Dragonite, as I said, Flutter Mane, and, you know, it's got no drawbacks, so why not? Like, you can use the Life Orb if you want to get even more damage, but obviously you're going to be taking HP damage, so if your Slither Wing takes an attack down to, like, minimum HP, and then hits a close combat, OHKOs, and then OHKOs itself, you're down your Pokemon instantly. So we went with the Muscle Band, and it has proven to be a very good item for the Pokemon. Flame Charge also lets Slither Wing pick up speed every turn it uses it, so it gets all +1 in speed every single time, which actually is one of Slither Wing's biggest drawbacks, is it's not the fastest Pokemon. I think mine has 130 speed with the EV spread I have, and so Flame Charge allows you to once get that up, and then the second time you should be outspeeding pretty much anything on the field, as long as it's not like, you know, Photosynthesis, Speed Flutter Mane, Tailwind, etc. But yeah, Slither Wing is a ton of fun. It runs really well into a lot of matchups. Another one is Grass Heatran. It can actually almost OHKO, if not OHKO, Grass Heatran in Terra. And yeah, it's just a really fun Pokemon, and I love it, so why not? Okay, I've decided we're just going to run these two back together. So we have Hisuian Lilligant and Torkoal. I've made plenty of videos on these two. They've dominated some of the ICs we've had this year. Lilligant and Torkoal synergize super well. Lilligant can after you into Torkoal to get Eruption off on turn 1 and do insane amounts of damage, depending on if that's a really good lead for you or not. Lilligant can also deal with Water Terrors like Chi-Yu, Specs, Water Terror right now with Leaf Blade, with Stab, Close Combat as well into normal Chi-Yu, and other things like, once again, Terra Normal Dragonite, Chien Pao, a lot of the current meta roamers that are always everywhere, like 70% of the lobbies. But then Lilligant, like in one of these games that I did today, actually won it for me on 1 HP. So it's a very, very good Pokemon on its own. It just needs to be placed and put in the right board state to be able to go to work. Chlorophyll allows it to be faster than pretty much anything on the field at the time. And the one thing I do want to go over with this pair is my Torkoal's a bit different. So I'm using Assault Vest Torkoal, which is a bit questionable to some people, I guess. But to me, it means that Torkoal has 150-ish defense and 150-ish special defense. It means it's going to be able to take hits. It's got Clear Smog, so it can deal with, say, the Dozo-Giri matchup. Earth Power, so it can deal with Hisuian and Goodra or other fire types. Heat Wave and Eruption are quite normal for Torkoal to have. Heat Wave and Eruption being insane stab moves for Torkoal, depending on the situation. And then Terra Flying, so that, you know, if you're up against something that's ground type, for instance, Landorus, you can go Terra Flying. It will use Stomping Tantrum, Earthquake, whatever. None of it will connect, and then you'll be able to fire off back at it. Okay, so a bit of a change up today, guys. I actually want to speak about the Flutter Mane on this team because it's different to most of the other ones. So this is Choice Specs Flutter Mane. It looks to be doing as much damage as fast as possible and just taking OHKOs as and when it does hit the field. But it's really going to appreciate Photosynthesis and the sunlight from Torkoal or Thundurus in here because it's speed boosting. So it should be able to outspeed most other Flutter Manes if they're not trained for special attack Photosynthesis anyway. And it's going to be hitting like a truck. I mean, the Dazzling Gleam, the Moon Blast, you got the Thunderbolt there for coverage. Any of those moves are going to be hitting whatever you're targeting for stupid amounts of damage. Terra Fairy, so you get that boosted damage with Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast, because you could potentially take 2 Okos on turn 1, depending on the scenario. And the EV palette for this thing is 68 HP, 220 defense. This makes this Flutter Mane bulkier and allows it to take 1 or 2 hits before actually going down, unless you get double targeted, and allows it to be a bit menacing, to be honest, because the Pokemon can kind of just win games on its own, so your opponent is kind of forced to target it and do something about it. Let's finally talk about the up-and-comer, the next up. I'm talking about Farigiraf. I think people are finally stopping sleeping on this thing. Armor Tail is just such a good ability in the current metagame, especially when you've got things like, you know, Terra Normal Dragonite, you've got Fake Out everywhere, you've got Sucker Punch Chien Pao. Most Chien Paos are dropping Throat Chop and running Sucker Punch as their only dark move. This thing just completely walls it. It just stops. I've literally won games because my opponent just can't hit my Farigiraf for enough damage because they don't have a dark move. Farigiraf allows, you know, you to be able to bring Slither Wing to the field or Torkoal or whatnot, and you know, if your opponent leads something that really relies on priority, they're just not going to be able to really do much about it. And then you've got the Imprison Trick Room as well, so you can block that as well. Like, your opponent leads Cresselia, you just hit Imprison and it just stops it amongst the other Trick Room setters. This Pokemon is just so good. Dark type Terra, so that, you know, you can do that if you need to on turn 1 to not be taunted, so you can imprison and such. Citrus Berry, because this thing takes a fair amount of hits and people are going to be targeting it to try and knock it out because it causes so much problems. And the Citrus Berry allows you to get down to like that 130, 120 mark and go all the way back up and just continue to be a nuisance. So yeah, Farigiraf is so good. I've been saying it for a while now. I think people have just been sleeping on it, and I'm seeing more and more people use it now, and it's obvious why. So yeah. Lastly on this list, to no surprise to a lot of people, is Thundurus. Thundurus is probably one of the best support Pokemon in the game right now. It's bulky, it takes hits, it nullifies things like Flutter Mane, Torkoal with Eerie Impulse. It can taunt Tornaduses, Cresselias, obviously Mental Herb given. Sunny Day boosts most of this team entirely, and it's just super, super strong. And having like manual weather on a team is really good right now, with loads of other like actual weather setters going around and other manual users. Prankster obviously allows you to go first with Thundurus all the time, unless you've got like Farigiraf on the opposing side, which can suck, but you know, that's part of the game. Thunderbolt, as it's its main form of stab, and it does a ton of damage. You can deal with like Water Terror Urshifus, flying types, all sorts of things with Thunderbolt. And then it's just more reliable than Wild Bolt as well. You need Rain Dance to really benefit from Wild Bolt, and once again, I just think the Storm moves are bad. I say it all the time. I'm going to say it again now. And the only other thing I want you to discount is the Electric Terror. This Thundurus should be Dark Terror. I think I changed it to Electric when I was using Therian Thundurus for my Rain video. I want it to be Dark Terror for the exact same reason as Farigiraf. So if you go to get taunted on turn 1, anything like that from a Prankster Pokemon, you can just prevent that. So yeah, Thundurus is great. It's bulky. It's one of the best supports, if not the best support, and I think it just slots into any team really, really well right now. And that is about it for the team breakdown. So as usual, the code is going to be in the top right corner, S0HD4S. It's also going to be in the description because I always put it there for whatever reason. I'll leave the Pokepaste for this team in the description as well, so if you want to look into the EVs, the statistics, you want to do calcs of it, it's all there for you on offer. I really hope some of you use this team and enjoy using this team. I've had a lot of fun using it. Slither Wing is a super cool Pokemon, and I just wanted to give it some spotlight because not a lot of people have, and I know that there are Slither Wing enjoyers out there. And yeah, so if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, it super helps. Leave a comment describing what you think of the team, if you use it, if you think it's good, if you think it's bad, what could fit on it better. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, guys. I checked my statistics the other day, and only like 40% of people are subbed, 60% of my viewers are unsubscribed, so if you could subscribe, it would mean the world to me. We're on the way to 600, and you know, the fact that we just keep climbing and climbing is incredible, and I love you all for it. Turn my post notifications on so you never miss a video from me, and besides that, that's really about it. So I've been Zephr, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Shiny Hisui on Arc9 is so good, I need one. I need to search for one in Legends Arceus. This is actually really what I wanted to see to start with, to be honest. I'm going to CC into this, and I am going to... I think I want a Trick Room here, I can't lie, because like the opponent's team just doesn't have an answer for Trick Room, especially. I don't think Slither Wing's too fast for this. 130. I think this first turn, actually, I'm just going to hit the Hyper Voice button. Yes. I think right now my Slither Wing outspeeds and KOs this Arcanine if he does nothing about this, so I'm all about that. And then if you Tailwind, then I'm just going to quite happily Trick Room you and be at advantage for the next 5 turns, so... Oh, I should have hit Trick Room. I should have done it. Like, it would have been so good. Flare Blitz into my Slither, who literally could not care about that whatsoever. And now your Arcanine's going to the card graveyard. Goodbye! Slither Wing Gaming. Let's go. Slither Wing, the Oko Gamer. Single target Hyper Voice doing almost half. Huge. Big draft, big draft. Oh, I love Slither Wing. He's so cute. What is it? Chien Pao. Okay, that's fine. Right, so this is actually super okay right now. I'm going to protect and I'm going to hit the Trick Room button this turn. And then all we have to do is hit Hyper Voice with draft to break the sash. And... oh, Sucker Punch, okay. What did you try and Sucker Punch there? That won't work anyway because of Armor Tail. That was very silly. Weak Wind. Nah, not enough. And now we at advantage. Now Slither Wing is going to start doing things. Right, Leech Life. Hyper Voice. Let's see it. Let's see the plays. Rain Dance. Okay, I guess. I mean, that means you're going to hit with your Bleak Windstorms. I guess it's the only reason you'd do that. And this is the problem with not running Throat Chop anymore and Sucker Punch being the choicer move for the Chien Paos now. Slither Wing, don't care about your Sucker Punch, bro. Oh, it's so cool. I love that this is a thing. I love that I'm using Slither Wing. People just don't expect to see it on ladder. It's so fun. At this point, I think you just quit, right? Like, Urshifu? Like, Urshifu... oh, it's Dark Urshifu. Okay. Well, that's once again fine with me. I feel like I should protect just to, like, find out, but I'm not going to. I'm going to protect. I'm just going to send it. And I'm going to bring Torkoal in for that damage boost as well. Oh, he just quits. 5 minutes Slither Wing, force quit. W. Flutter Mane Chi. Okay, that's fine. This is actually super okay with me, you know. So, does it have Protect? I feel like I should stall a turn with Protect this first turn just in case. And I should hit Heat Wave here, personally. I don't feel like I get an Eruption off here. Plus, it lets me bait out the Terror, so we go Heat Wave. We've got AV Torkoal as well, so it nullifies that Beads of Ruin a little bit here. Is this Ghost Chi-Yu or Fire Chi-Yu? That's the biggest question we have. Water Chi-Yu. Okay. So that Protect is actually super valuable. Because this just means that we can Leaf Blade this silly little bird. Silly little bird, silly little fish. Birdfish. Oh, that's actually huge for us. Heat Wave Chi-Yu. Okay. We can get some damage on this Chi-Yu now. Not very much, but some. That is ridiculous for it's not very effective. Oh, it was a crit. Okay. And we burn it just because it's not fire type anymore. This is just rubbing salt into the wound. Right. Leaf Blade here. What do I want to bring out here? Anything? Not really. I feel like Heat Wave is still valuable here. Yeah, I feel like we just hit a Heat Wave again. Like, Torkoal's just on the field at this point. Need to make the most of this sun. Withdrew Chi-Yu. Okay. Hands comes in instead. That's fine. That's still really good damage into our hands as well. Moonblast. He's left my Torkoal alone this turn. Huge. Torkoal's not getting as much value as I'd like him to, but he's getting tons of burns right now, which is huge. My favourite thing, I think, though, is because you've brought out hands. I kind of want to protect Lilligant here and Earth Power this hands. Because Lilligant still has tons of value. It can deal with the... You can deal with the Chi-Yu. That's mainly the main reason. And if there's Urshifu out back, it can deal with that as well. I think the Lilligant is more valuable than my Torkoal in this game. Unfortunately. That's a very safe fake out. I don't think Shadow Ball takes my Torkoal out. No. Very good for us. Actually, do you know what? I don't even think I need Lilligant because I have... Thunderbolt, 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 Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, Flutter Mane. That'd be the one. I feel like a CC into this Iron Hands would probably end it, to be fair. I think that is the play this turn. And I think I'm going to switch Torkoal out in turn of Giraffe. Oh, you take your Flutter Mane out? What's coming in instead? Give me the Moolah. Lando? Okay. Intim is actually good here. But now I know your whole team and I know how to play, so... I don't think that stops Lilligant from close combating this Iron Hands into the graveyard, though. Oh, just. Lilligant deserved better. Oh, that's actually neutral because of the normal typing. That sucks bad. However, my Lilligant's still alive, so actually that provides value. So I'm going to protect my Lilligant here, and I think fairly enough I'm going to Psychic into that slot, yes. Taunt. Okay, that's fine. I didn't have anything planned there. Taunt Lando is really weird, but it's cool. The draft is big! The draft lives! Crack that berry, my boy. And Psychic this boy back to the Shadow Realm. Goodbye, Mr. Hands. I think Iron Hands is still so good. I think it just like... There are certain things that can just hit it really hard in the metagame now, so... You bring Chi... No, you bring Flutter back out. Okay, that's fine. That booster energy, Flutter Mane. Speed? Special attack, okay. Now... If I get the sun back up in a minute... Right. I need to bring Torkoal back out in the Lilligant slot, and I need to lose my draft this turn. And that is the play right now. Seems stupid. Won't be though. Because we fresh reset Lilligant in with new Sun and no Intimidate. Moonblast into Torkoal, which is fine because Torkoal has served his purpose. Lando takes the KO on my Giraffe. No way does my Giraffe live. That's actually really bad. That play all depended on my Giraffe going down there. I have to bring Flutter Mane in now anyway, so... And we haven't Terra'd yet, and we're going to get Preto speed boost here, plus Choice Specs, plus Fairy Terror. Can do a lot of damage very, very quickly. Don't need no Shadow Ball to take your silly, dumb Flutter Mane out here. I played this game very well. I'm very pleased with this game. I feel like maybe I could have brought a better Pokemon than Draft, but... Slither Wing didn't hold a ton of value here, and what was my other Pokemon that I would have had with that as well? Thundurus didn't provide a ton of value here either. I mean, Thundurus could have provided Eerie Impulses, I guess, but I don't think that would have mattered as much, so... That is huge amounts of damage. And there's no way you can take out my Flutter Mane before it hits another Dazzling Gleam because of the speed, so that's kind of it. Your game is over, my friend. I just have to click Dazzling Gleam, and that's pretty much the end of the game. Lilligant's just here to be, like, my cheerleader now. Yeah, protect. Nothing on the field outspeeds. The Dazzling Gleam of all Dazzling Gleams is coming through right now. Goodbye. Choice Specs, Terra Fairy. I don't even want to think about how much damage that does. Ton. Lando with AB. Got annihilated. Poor little Chi-Yu comes back to the field now in front of Pokemon that has a grass attack and a Pokemon Dazzling Gleam. Plus, it then allows me to do... No, it doesn't, because it doesn't work on itself, but that doesn't even matter because the game's over, so... No way are we doing this, bro. Just let it go. I mean, to be fair, actually, I guess you could wait out the Photosynthesis and the Chlorophyll, but I don't think Yoshiyu has any way to take out both my Pokemon in one hit, so... Wishful thinking. And while you do that, you're just taking more burn damage, so just mashing A at this point. And knock those little beads off your face. Oh no. You know what that means. Lilligant wins the game. 1 HP Lilligant clutching. Hisuian Lilligant has no right being as good as it is. Just a better version of the normal Lilligant, and Lilligant already won a regional title this year, so...
Saves hundreds of lives.